Guten Tag! So, today I have a very fun experience that happened to me a few months ago and I didn't have a lot of people to share this experience with. So, this video is about it. Come with me to the desk, let me show you, let me illustrate you what I mean. Okay, so if you haven't been living under a rock during the last 50 years and you also play guitar, you probably heard of a little company called Boss. Yes, Boss has been known for making legendary pedals. This is just the box of one of my Boss pedals. I actually have it right here. I'm just with this to show you that I have the box. What is this, a JHS video?
Have the box.
So, everyone knows Boss. They've been doing a great job in making pedals for the last 50 years or so. I think they're from the 70s. These are called the Compact series, and I think is what everyone thinks about when someone says the word guitar pedal. This is the most classic form factor for a guitar pedal. I have two Boss pedals. I have this one, great chainsaw to make all those Swedish death metal tones that everyone loves. I even have a coffee mug of this pedal that is a terrible coffee mug. I only use this for stationery nowadays. So everyone loves and knows Boss. I think nowadays their pedals are made in Malaysia, I think this one is, while the older ones are made in Japan, and they have this special series that are also made in Japan, which is these Wazacraft ones. They're supposedly better and stuff, but they are all great. Even the Malaysian ones are great. They're made out of metal, very solid pedals, and I think everyone has a super overdrive in their board. Also need to mention that Boss is part of the Roland Corporation. I think that the business model of Boss is a lot better because they still do their classic stuff. It's still an analog pedal, analog circuitry, and maybe Roland should learn a few things with Boss, you know? Maybe re-release your classic synths? Maybe give people what they want? Huh? Oh man, now this is becoming a Bad Gear episode.
Bad Gear.
So another company that I think everyone is familiar with is Behringer. Look at this guy. He's really happy about his new pedal. This is my Behringer noise reducer, which is a clone of the Boss noise suppressor. And for those who don't know, Behringer is a company that their business model basically is you wait for a patent to expire and then you just clone it. You just make copies out of shit. And this is what Behringer been doing. This is a copy of the Boss noise suppressor, the Boss NS1. And all these other pedals here, they also have their respective clones as well. And they are very much, let's say, poor quality. They have like plastic casings and they're very cheap, especially over there where you guys live. It might be even cheaper. And now that you have the context, now I can tell you the story that I wanted to tell. Well, it's very simple. This is the first noise suppressor pedal that I bought. And I needed it because, you know, for metal guitar, you need a lot of gain. And with a lot of gain comes a lot of noise. I mean, listen to this. Okay, this is the amplifier with the noise gate off. Spicy! And this is the amplifier with the noise gate on. I mean, much better. This is what I could afford at the time. Keep in mind, for those who don't know, I live in Brazil. In Brazil, things are very, very, very expensive. This is a tax hell. So even this plasticky piece of dung, brand new, was very expensive. And when it comes to Boss pedals... Oh dear. And eventually, you know, one day, I actually got a little bit of cash and I was like, hey, let me upgrade my board. Let's actually get the real deal. So I got this guy to replace my cheapy China overdrive, which, you know, worked great. And I also got the real deal of the noise reducer, which is the NS1, the noise suppressor one by Boss. And then I was there all happy, like, oh man, I'm not gonna have any more Chinese pedals in my board. They are gonna be like good construction, they're gonna be metal, they're gonna be like the greatest thing ever. And then I plugged the NS1 in my board in place of this stinky little guy. And it sounded like ass. It sounded terrible, it sounded horrible. Let me show it to you. So, not very good. You can see that there's no top end in the tone anymore. It sounds very anemic, it sounds very sad. And this stinky little ding-dong didn't do that. This pedal was completely transparent. The little plasticky bastard. And I was in denial, thinking maybe I'm doing something wrong. This shouldn't be possible, right? This is a clone, for sake. This is a clone of the Boss. This is... In all my frustration, I'm pretty sure I went through all the stages of grief that week trying to figure out, and then I finally decided to be scientific about it. And I got a little software called Room EQ Wizard, which is really nice. You can measure not only, you know, rooms and acoustic spaces, but you can send a signal through a guitar pedal and actually see what the pedal is doing. Let me show to you guys what was revealed in the great duel between the noise reducer and the noise suppressor. Okay, so right now we're looking at Room EQ Wizard. So what we want to see is actually the flatter the line, the better, meaning that I want what it's going into the pedal to come out the same way it came in, because this noise suppressor is not supposed to color the sound. This guy is not supposed to do anything of the sort, okay? So the red line here is the bypass, meaning that this is where the pedal turned off. You can see there's a little bit of a roll off in the bass frequencies here, but this is not really a problem. By the way you read this graph is from, you know, the bass frequencies to the treble. This is 20 Hertz to 20 kilohertz, which is, you know, the human auditory spectrum. This is like the limit of the human hearing. I measure the bypass of the Behringer as well. It's exactly the same. Like, there's even less of a roll-off, if you can believe it. And this is with the Behringer on. You can see there's no change. You can see that the line is the same as the input. So it means that the pedal is doing nothing tonally. It's just removing noise, doing nothing else, which is great. This is what you want. It doesn't mess up with your tone. All it does is what it says in the tin. It reduces noise. Now, this is the same thing that I did with the Boss. So the red line is the bypass of the Boss, and the green line is the Boss turned on. You see this shit? Now, pay attention here. You see the green line has a little bit more gain, meaning that it is louder. And then right here at the 2K point, at the 2 kilohertz, it goes down, meaning that it is cutting treble frequencies of the tone, and this is what is f***ing the tone up. This is what is making everything sound absolutely terrible. I'm not sure if the noise reducer is based in another circuit, like maybe it's based on the ISP decimator or any other noise reducing pedal, or maybe they actually fixed it, or is an older iteration of the noise reducer that's actually better. And keep in mind, this was brand new pedal. It was like, I think, the most recent revision, and it still sounded horrible. Maybe someone will elucidate me in the comments and say, hey, I have an older version, it sounds okay. Maybe mine was bad. I don't know. I really don't know. And also, I opened the pedal up to figure out what was going on inside, and I couldn't find much. I only have these pictures. You can see that I don't have the Boss anymore because, you know, once I ran all my stats and saw that it wasn't very good, I just sent it back, it never to be seen again, and the Behringer lives in my board till this day and still works. Let's open this guy up and see what makes it tick. Okay, opening the bastard, opening the nugget. What am I, the Ankopods now? Dingus. Come on, give it. Ah, you bastard. Ah, there we go. I got your knob. Okay, and then I have 2 screws here and 2 screws there. These are very easy to take apart, by the way. Also, one thing that I love about this pedal has some metal in it. It is a metal pedal. You know what's the metal? It's this. This is just a metal plate to make the pedal heavier. It doesn't do shit. It's terrible, holy shit. I think it grounds these contacts over here. Ah, Behringer! Okay, so here we have the board. Let's see if I can take it off here. Oh no, guys, the warranty is getting voided. Whatever shall we do? The warranty of the pedal. I think it's okay. Aha! This is the board of the noise reducer. You have this quite cute line of capacitors in here. It's actually quite adorable. And in the back, holy crap, this is a lot of surface mounted devices. And yeah, I think it is kind of a clone of the other one, because the Boss pedal also kind of look like this internally, but, you know, much better constructed. And I don't think this guy has the same trim pot as the other one. So it's not a direct clone, it is a little bit different. There's also a space for another circuit, integrated circuit in here. I have no idea what that is, or what that could be. So yeah, plastic jacks, nothing fancy. Really cutting costs here. This foam gonna disintegrate in a few years. Very Behringer-like to be like this, but yeah. It works, and I'm gonna put it back together because I need this pedal. So what does that mean for us guitar people? Well, I don't know, man. Legendary company, years of experience, shitty pedal, terrible pedal, and then you get the bootleg made by Behringer and it sounds a lot better and does the job better too, and it's much cheaper. Will these pedals get more expensive as this video is released? Will people actually give a shit? I don't know. But my experience with this pedal was very good, and I can't recommend it enough actually, which is weird because it's a Behringer product. So what does that mean? Do I need to accept Uli Behringer as my lord and savior and sell my Marshall and buy a Bulgarian instead? I'm never doing that, by the way. I'm never, ever doing that. But it was frustrating. It was very frustrating to go through all of that and actually go to lengths to prove that I wasn't going insane. And I showed it to people. People didn't believe me as well, but I hope you guys believe me now, because this was very stupid and nerdy. Well, maybe it's due to enshittification, I don't know. Now this is becoming a DankPods video, holy shit. Dingus. But anyways, thanks for listening for my mess once again. I will be back soon with more bullshit. Thanks for watching, everyone.